Good morning. Jason Wadrow here with Online Strategy Podcast, Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. Today's topic is about asking yourself a question. Ask yourself the question, if you are failing to create new business in your business by advertising, marketing, promotion, public relations, or whatever avenue that you are trying to drum up business. Usually it's multiple. But if it's failing for you miserably, or even isn't at the rate of success that you expect, so first thing you have to do is stand back and take a look at what is it you're trying to do? Well, you're trying to create a new customer, a new prospect, sell a service, sell an item, whatever it is that your end of day product is, meaning the thing that you do every day that's your end result. For a dentist, for example, it could be a multitude and variety of treatments applied. Teeth cleaning, dental, whitening, filling cavities, veneers, all types of services, right? But that's a multitude, so you might just have one product. You might be an ice cream shop. You might be a toy store, a bicycle shop, or sell some unique product. There are so many variables that need to be considered when you're running into an issue like this. First of all, the simple thing to do is apply VPF marketing, which is visibility, presentation, function. And if those are, and in case you don't know what that is, you can search that online. I cover it multiple times, and I'm probably going to recover it again in the next couple weeks. But the basic concept of it is visibility. How visible are you? How visible is your product, service, promotion, whatever it is you're putting out there, trying to attract new business, new attention. Then your presentation, or how is that set up? Is it set up to deliver what you want to say in such a way that can be accepted or understood by that audience that you're trying to attract? And then function. How does that person interact with that promotion, that advertising, whatever it is? Again, you could be standing you could be on the corner selling carpets on the road on an intersection, and this applies to you. And you could run a multi-million-dollar toy factory, and this applies to you the same way. So it all really comes back down to who you are trying to sell your service or product to, or are you trying to educate to the degree that somebody recognizes that your product or service solves their problem? There's all these variant possibilities out there. So when you jump into the arena of trying to diagnose and figure out why your marketing isn't working, or why your advertising isn't working, or why you're not getting enough customers, why your advertising spend is way more than your immediate apparent return, there's a lot of factors to take into consideration. And loyalty is one of them as well, just on that point. If you have customers that come to you one time and they buy widget XYZ from you for barely anything, and then 3 years later, they spend 10 times as much. That has to be taken into consideration as well, because that's all part of, your advertising, marketing, your introductory service, whatever it is that you're calculating in the big picture. So I'm going to distill this down to some really simple, basic points to keep in mind when you're running into an issue. Again, this is such a broad spectrum because there's so many variant business models and business and service types. For example, another point would be, you're on Instagram at 11 o'clock at night, you're scrolling through reels, you're looking at videos, and all of a sudden an advertisement pops up, and it's something that you've been looking for, it's a remarketing thing. You're getting marketed something that solves the problem that you've been having, and it looks amazing, and it just causes you to buy it, So that's a form of advertising and marketing. And then there is, again, going down the other spectrum where you have a conversation 10, 20, 50 times before you develop a contract and then go into a business deal. So taking all that into consideration, try to really understand. The most important thing I can recommend to you is really understanding the customer. Understanding the customer that likes your product, the customer that wants your product. That is going to be the most value to you, not only for your basic business relations, but for your advertising spend, your marketing spend, and everywhere you're investing. That is going to be really important to understand that. Now, we may be and come to an era and a time, and you say, no one's buying my product. I can't understand why. And then we take a look on the outside, and we see that there's this, inflation spiking, interest rates are going up, spending is stopping. People aren't spending as much money on things that are not necessities, like groceries. It's very difficult, by the way, to find a grocery store that doesn't have people in it because there's food there and people need food, right? So also take into consideration the demand of a product that you have and how, and on the other side of that, and this is where miracle work comes in with businesses, but how do you make your product desirable? If you're falling into that rut, how would you turn it around and make your product or service something that actually helps or solves the problem of all that other stuff that happens in day-to-day life in the world, financial stuff and all the ups and downs and everything else that happens. So there's so many different angles to look at this. I could just go on and on and on again, but know your customer. That's the first key. Know them well, know them very well. Work really, really hard at referral business if you can. If it fits into your business model, find a way to a system or anything you can do to take your customers and have them talk to other people about you. That is not only cost effective, but a referral is really the best gift you can get in terms of speaking about your product or service. That's basically the best thing you can get. So those two things right there, if you just focus on those, that can be really powerful. Now, outside of that, going into social media advertising, other forms of digital advertising, digital billboards, any other avenue you could go down, those can all be viable. They can all be great, but you really need to understand your customer. You really need to understand your business model, and you really need to understand the desire and the need of your product and what it is and what problem, what solution you're offering that's solving and what value that brings. Really needs to be thought out and tidied up well and presented in such a way that consumer is reacted to respond by, to contact you, whatever it might be that you're trying to get them to do. So that's my tidbit for today. I am going to have a considerable series coming up. Actually, Widro Media, which is the very, very niche specific digital advertising part of W3 Developing LLC, we're going to be creating a series of fun Instagram reels talking about advertising in action and just doing all kinds of adventures. That's up and coming. It's a new thing, and really excited about it. So keep your eye on that. We don't know exactly when that's going to come to fruition, but I think it's going to be really soon. It's going to be just a real-life documentary, but infused with our advertising, marketing, practical, real-life experience, just sharing that with you to see if what we can provide can help you. So, all right, that's all I have for you today. Again, Jason Widro here with Online Strategy Podcast. Have an awesome day. Kick butt, do great, and until next time, be well.